Hello everyone, I'm Matt, and today I'll teach you how to use Katana in the Roblox's hit game, Phighting. People have asked me to do a tutorial, so here it is. But of course, if you love this kind of content, like the video and I will make even more tutorials for even more characters. Anyways, back to Katana. Katana is a heavy melee tank that gains shields with his attacks. His passive is called Looming Misfortune. Hit your primary attack on an enemy 5 times in a row, and you will gain 25 shield and deal extra 25 damage to the enemy. Also, every slice gives plus 3% slowness effect to the enemy, but the 5th slice gives 50%. Primary is called Calamity Slice. The first and the second slice deals 10 damage, the third and the fourth slice deals 12 damage, and the fifth slice deals 14 damage. While using his primary, Katana moves forward and he can float. He can slice 5 times while in air. After the fifth slice, he will fall, but you can reset the 5 slices with his secondary. His secondary is called Spirit Cleanse. It slashes and instantly activates his passive, but this time it matters how many slashes there are on the enemy. The more slashes there are on the enemy, the more shield you would gain and the more damage you would deal. His Q ability is called Fred Tau. When used, Katana would stop and throw a hook. If the hook hits an enemy, it deals 15 damage, and Katana pulls the enemy to his location. E ability is quite hard to understand, but just stick with me right here. E ability is called Foul Counter. When pressed E, Katana enters a temporary stance that negates all knockback and all damage that is less than 40. Receiving 10 damage or higher, Katana will strike back. With all taken damage, he will strike back with 70% of the total damage taken. The finisher is called Soul Splicer. When used, it will deal in total of 55 damage to enemies in a radius, and you will gain 25 shield per enemy hit within your finisher. There are some fighters that in 1v1 situations counter Katana. On my opinion, these characters are Banhammer, all of the ranged class characters, and Subspace. Banhammer also gains shield by attacking, and Banhammer only needs to take down Katana's shield to finish Katana off with his finisher. The ranged class characters either have way better speed or they can make a safe distance with Katana. Subspace's attacks make enemies take more damage, and Subspace has some great range and can easily escape with his E ability if needed. But of course, Katana counters characters like Skate, Biograph, Medkit, and Boombox. Skate's biggest fear is slowness, and Katana brings that slowness with his primary attack and his secondary attack. Q ability is also powerful against Skate's. Biograph and Medkit are mostly about teleporting, and Katana's Q ability can make those abilities away, making them vulnerable. Boombox's main thing is speed, and Katana's passive ability makes that speed go away. While Sword is in the air and using his finisher, Katana can pull him and reflect the damage with his E. While Skate uses his finisher, Katana can hook him and the Skate after the finisher will be off board. Katana can reflect a Katana's reflection. While Banhammer is spinning, Katana can stop his spinning with the hook. The effect that stops that is called Grounded. Another example is here with Medkit. When Katana catches the Medkit cannot teleport to the Biograph for a limited time. Another example is here where Boombox is in the air and using his Q ability. Katana can pull him so he doesn't ground smash. Same as Sword's interaction, Katana can pull the Rocket with his hook to make Rocket take damage of his own rockets. When using your attacks, you do have to aim. especially if the enemy is really close to you. When you plan to use your primary attack or even your secondary attack, jump into the air to gain high ground. This high ground can be powerful against boomboxes and any other melee characters. If an enemy is far away and he's low on health, use your hook. That can finish the enemy. When attacking an enemy, slice the enemy 4 times and then use your secondary. If you slice the enemy 5 times, the passive ability will activate and remove all the slices from the enemy.